arguing for the 1% sales tax, and I'm like, I don't think you've really said what you're gonna use it for, but what I've read is maybe for homeless services.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us for our regular scheduled council meeting. It's Tuesday, February 10th at 7 PM. Ms. Clerk, if you'll call the roll.
Charlie Davidson,
Here.
John Wells,
Here.
Linda Westhafer, Charles Schwanke, Terry Osborne,
Here.
Troy Hill,
Here.
Brandy Bailey,
Here.
Jim Schrader.
Here.
Mr. Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Next on the agenda, we have invocation will be led by Councilman Charlie Davidson, and the pledge will be led by Councilman Wells. If you'll please stand.
Bow your heads with me, please. Father God, just thank you for this night that we have to come together. Just pray you give us wisdom and guidance as a council and a mayor as we continue to do business for the city. Lord, I pray for our department directors, our workers, Lord, that you continue to guide them each and every day, keep them safe, and continue to help us make this one of the greatest cities in this nation, Lord. We just thank you and praise you for everything you do. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. May be seated. Start out with approval of the agenda. Charlie?
I move we approve the agenda.
Thank you, Troy.
Second.
Okay, a motion and a second. Motion by Charlie, seconded by Troy. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 6-0. Next, awards and presentations. We have the Chief Deputy Treasurer, or I'm sorry, Register of Deeds is here tonight for a presentation. Thank you. There you go, ma'am. Kinley, thank you for being here.
Good evening. My name is Kinley Ziering. I'm the Chief Deputy for the Sedgwick County Register of Deeds. I brought with me a packet with to go over a few things that our office does. Not a lot of people know what the Register of Deeds does, and we file anything that's real estate related, deeds, mortgages, assignments of mortgages, releases, and also we have these two new free fraud alerts, property fraud alert and notary fraud alert. Both are to help combat fraud that's happening. We haven't seen any fraud happenings per se in Sedgwick County, but it's very prevalent on the East and West Coast. With the property fraud, all you have to do is go on to our website. You enter in your name. It takes like 2 or 3 minutes to fill out. And anytime a document gets filed in our office, you'll get an alert. It'll tell you what day it was filed, what type of document it is, and you can review it. If you don't think it's yours, you can call our office and we can help verify that with you. If we do in fact find out that it's fraud, we would refer you to law enforcement to make a report. The notary fraud alert works exactly the same way, but it's for notaries. And not a lot of people know about this. We are the first county in Kansas to offer it. But basically, they would get the same alert. It would show what type of document that they've recorded and the grantor and grantees. And they can verify that if it is in true document that they did. What we found is a lot of the people that are doing fraud with the notaries, they're swiping the actual notary block from a document and putting it onto another document. And a lot of people don't find out until it's too late. So that's why these alerts are great to sign up for, and encourage your neighbors to sign up for that. A lot of people also don't know, we offer passports at our office, and soon we will be opening an office in Hayesville. So we will also do passports there. And last but not least, we have the Veteran and Military Discount Program. And basically, we created this program to bring awareness to our veteran community that they can file their DD-214s in our office for free, and they can come in and get additional copies as they needed. It's just another place for safekeeping, and it's not a public record. And that's all I have for you today. Do you guys have any questions?
Council, any questions? I would ask, I know the library used to offer passport services, so can you tell me a little more about your passport services that you're doing in Hayesville? Is there a certain time, or is it appointment only, or?
It'll
how's
be
that?
appointment only, but it will be Monday through Friday. And Monday through Thursday, it'll be from 9 to 3:30, and Friday, it'll be from 9 to 11:30. But at our main office, we are open from 8:30 to 5 every day.
And you do passports downtown too?
Yes.
Okay, great. And the facility in Hayesville that you're doing this, is this at their library or is this at their city hall?
It'll be at the lower level of the city hall.
Great, okay, super. Very good. Well, thank you for being here tonight. Did council have any questions or comments?
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Thank you. Next is city administrator report.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Just a couple updates for tonight. First of all, the Senior Center, we are just about a week away from construction being complete. As a reminder, we are hosting a ribbon cutting ceremony on February 25th, and then we will be open full-time starting the morning of February 26th. The ribbon cutting ceremony will be at the new Senior Center, which is 1811 Stewart Drive. It'll be at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on the 25th, and it is open to the public. As far as Park Center, the last time we talked about how we're waiting on warmer weather to finish up some of the streetscape improvements and landscaping. But I did want to inform the council that the Park Center project is being recognized and awarded as the best in class in the roller compacted concrete category by the American Concrete Paving Association. The city, Andale Construction Company, and PEC, Professional Engineering Corporation, will all be recognized during their annual conference in Kansas City on February 25th, the same day as our ribbon cutting. So we're not going to be able to attend, but Andale and PEC are planning on that. So as an update to city wayfinding signs, the city contracted with Lumio Signs back in October to replace and update all the city wayfinding signs. The newer and more up-to-date designs are 45% bigger than our existing signs. It incorporates the city's updated logo and colors, and they will be installed at a taller, more standardized height around the community. The 2 days that they're planning on installing them are March 2nd and March 3rd, so hopefully we'll have those soon. And then finally, the last meeting, the mayor asked for an update on the new aquatics facility, as it currently appears to be nothing more than just a large hole in the ground, because at this time there's little to no vertical development going on. And we have some of the photos there of the progress that's going on right now. Bird's eye view, thanks to Matt, who went out and flew the drone. Pretty impressive. But most of the vertical development will occur within the last month and a half. So the weather delayed them just a little bit over the last couple weeks, but they still anticipate having the pool completed somewhere in the neighborhood of about 2 to 3 weeks prior to Memorial Day, just in enough time to make certain it's full and that we get lifeguard staff and everything up to speed and trained on it. So we're still looking for a Memorial Day opening for the new aquatics facility. And barring any questions, sir, that's all I have.
Only question would be the drone. Was that our new drone or is that an old drone?
That is Matt's drone. So it's not our drone, it's his. He has done that on various different events and everything like that, but I'm certain the police department will give an example of our new drone once we get it.
Do we know ETA on that or any kind of estimate?
They said it's gonna be about May.
Okay, super. Very good. Thank you. Council, any questions of Sean? Thank you, Sean. Next, we're at the consent agenda.
I move we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Terry?
Second.
Motion by Brandy, seconded by Terry. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 2-0. Next, we have old business. Doug?
Mayor and council, at the last meeting, we briefly discussed an ordinance that I'd prepared to make gambling under the age of 21 years in the city of Park City a misdemeanor violation. This was prompted by the opening of Gillies. We received some feedback from the Kansas Gaming and Racing and Gaming Commission, who asked us in the first instance to add this to our ordinances. We didn't have one that prohibited gambling prior to this. But there is a distinction between what you would think of as being a regular slot machine and the sort of, they look like slot machines at Gillies, but they operate based upon historic horse races. So what this ordinance does a little bit differently than the last one, it still makes gambling under the age of 21 in the city a violation and a misdemeanor violation, but it only refers to the purchase of a pari-mutuel ticket. So it actually only makes gambling at Gillies at this point, if you're under 21, a violation. But that's what they requested so that they could prosecute those violations in our municipal court, which is much more efficient and friendly than going downtown to Sedgwick County District Court. So I would recommend that you adopt the ordinance.
Thank you, Doug. Council, have any questions or comments? Charlie?
I move to approve ordinance 1233, 2026.
Okay, do I have a second? Jim?
And that,
Is there any further comments? Okay, this will be a roll call vote.
Jim Schrader,
aye.
Terry Osborne,
Aye.
Troy Hill,
Aye.
Brandy Bailey,
Aye.
John Wells,
Aye.
Charlie Davidson.
Aye.
6-0. Okay, next we're on to new business. Discuss and consider resolution establishing a tax credit, a tax increment financing or TIF redevelopment district at 69th and Broadway. Sean?
Sir, item number 1 is appointments to the CRB.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I skip one?
Okay.
I did, I'm sorry. Wait a minute.
It's not on our printed agenda. On the agenda packet sent out, but not on the.
We'll have to add it at the next, unless it's on somewhere else.
It's on the one I have,
It is?
on the email one.
It's on the email. It is, it's on the packet that was sent out, but it's not on the printed agenda for tonight.
When's our next meeting? So that'd be the 24th? So that's on our next council night. When's their next meeting? Yeah. So they won't meet till March. Let's just hold that one until March, or, yeah, the February 24th meeting. Let's just hold that, no big deal, no worries. And is this the one? This is the one you gave me. Thank you. Okay, that one's good. All right. Under new business, discuss, I already read that one, so we'll proceed on item 1 under new business.
Good evening, Dominic Eck with Gilmore and Bell, on council for the city. So tonight, there's a resolution to start the process to create a tax increment financing or TIF district. Brief overview of the TIF process. TIF is a tool, economic development tool. It's a tax redirection. Okay, so there's not any additional taxes that are imposed, but instead, as new valuation gets added to a certain defined area, the taxes generated by that additional valuation are segregated and utilized to pay for eligible project costs. So when you establish a TIF district, your base valuation is frozen. Whatever that property is generating in taxes today on that assessed valuation will continue to get distributed to all taxing jurisdictions. Above and beyond that can be segregated and utilized again to pay project costs. You can either segregate and use 100% of the increment or some lesser amount. But the first step in the process is to create a district. And that's what we have tonight, a resolution to call for a public hearing regarding the creation of the district. After that, you have a second step, which is approval of a specific project plan and kind of the particulars for that district. That's the stage at which you would set, okay, we're going to do an 80% TIF, or it would be 100% TIF, or whatever the particulars of the project are. That would be step 2. But tonight we start with step 1. So the 69th and Broadway redevelopment district has been proposed to the city by Iron Horse Development. There's a representative of the team here to discuss what their proposal is. And then I'm happy to answer any questions you have on process or any other steps along the way.
I have a bunch of questions for you. Tim Austin with Iron Horse Development, here to talk about the proposed project and the TIF request. Also have one of my other partners with Iron Horse, Levi Bond here, wave, and a couple other guys couldn't make it. So, but wanted to just give a little bit of an overview. I think as you guys know, we had some of the industrial land over on Broadway that we acquired a couple years ago, and in the intervening time that we've owned that land, there's just been a tremendous amount of other industrial properties that have come on into the general marketplace. It seems like almost weekly you see an announcement in the Business Journal about new industrial developments, either in Wichita or Bel Air or even in Park City. With that, because of demand and because of investments, we look to see, is there an opportunity to maybe put the property to good use on the tax rolls, and see if there was something that would be more receptive to the industry. And as we know, one of the things that there's also continued demand for is affordable and workforce housing, and it's a need here in Park City and all other areas around the county and community as well. So with that, one of the things we looked at was, could we repurpose that land for some residential housing? And so that's the nature of the request tonight. Next slide, please. So what the proposed district is outlined in blue. At the upper right corner of that district is the intersection of 69th Street North and Broadway. There's a zone change request that's coming before Planning Commission later this month for the north 44 acres of that property. It's been zoned in the county, and then you guys annexed it, and now it's in the city, and we got to rezone it again, which is fine. But anyway, that's basically the area. It's about 145 acres. Next slide. So as Mr. Eck commented, one of the eligible expenses or eligible properties that qualify for TIF is that the majority of the land is in the 100-year floodplain. Everything that you see in red is what's mapped in the FEMA maps as 100-year floodplain. Everything that's magenta is what we call the 500-year floodplain. But any properties by agreement with FEMA and the state of Kansas and Sedgwick County, any buildings or structures that have to be built in that red area have to be removed from the floodplain. So the whole area has to be removed and filled, and letters of map revision have to get made through FEMA in order to obtain building permits. What that means on residential property is because it's in the floodplain, it's significantly more expensive to develop that land. So apples to apples comparison, properties that are developed around the city or in the county that don't have floodplain issues like this are inherently, better investments, less riskier, less expensive to develop. And so the opportunity with the TIF is simply to make what's generally considered unviable land and make it viable and competitive with the other marketplace. So for the TIF, it's just simply to remove the land from the floodplain and to help pay for the cost of that earthwork that does that, which is, by our initial estimates, exceeds the value of the land anyway. So makes it unfeasible for residential development. Backside, one more back. So one of the things you can see is that the box structure underneath 61st Street, there in the middle of the picture, all that red is backwater for the 100-year floodplain. Next slide, please. So one of the things that we've looked at here that kind of is underlying premise about the need for additional flood control and detention is many of you might remember in 2008, there was a really significant rainfall event that went through the northwest side of Wichita and went up into Valley Center and went through this drainage basin. And prior to 2016, there wasn't any flood maps for this tributary, which is known as the West Branch of Chisholm Creek. The county studied it from 2008 to 2016 and published this report, which identified a lot of drainage needs in that basin. And at the time, they wanted about 920 acre feet. And so when you think about an acre foot, it's 1 acre foot is 1 acre, 1 foot deep in water. So it needs storage capacity of about 920 acre feet of additional capacity in order to mitigate flood risk. And the cost that they assigned to trying to mitigate those costs in this particular study was $25 million. And up until from 2016 to today, there's been no public projects or public funds that have been identified to address that. And so one of the things with the TIF is that it has an opportunity to try to knock down some of that extra storage need using TIF to help public, help us, help you, so to speak, to create that storage and again, make land economically viable. Next slide. So what the TIF does and what we'll be talking with Gilmer and Bell in the coming weeks is on the draft developers agreement is what are the uses of the public funds, what are the tangible benefits. And so I listed them there by bullet point. One's to construct regional detention basin. It increases some of the extra storage capacity within that drainage basin. There's some existing drainage issues I'm sure you guys are all familiar with along the south ditch of 69th Street North. Some great issues that we have an opportunity to address that and fix that. Makes the land more economically viable. That increases your tax base. And then again, it provides flood risk mitigation, everything downstream and for the surrounding property owner. Next slide. So the general premise is to use some of the land for cut to increase the storage capacity using for the detention basin. So it's shown on the west side of that drainage ditch. And then the area to be filled is shown as outlined in blue. And so the area outlined in blue comprises about 83 acres. 66 acres of that would be mixed-use residential, and 17 acres would remain in industrial, at least at the moment. Next slide. So this is just a photo screen capture showing the standing water in 69th Street. I'm sure you've all seen that yourselves. Next slide. This is the concept drawing of what that project would look like. This is getting pretty close. Our engineering firm, Short Elliott Hendrickson, is working to provide a preliminary plat, which will be submitted to the Planning Commission hopefully by Friday, but maybe not this Friday. But basically, the thought process is to do a very thoughtful design, mixed-use housing, which would include some single-family residential. About a third of the housing units would be single-family residential. Some duplexes, as most of you know, duplex demand is still pretty strong entirely around the county. But a lot of people want to get away from what they call the barrack-style housing. And so what we wanted to try to do was integrate some thoughtful design elements to get away from that look. And then also provide for some additional multifamily housing that might be some garden apartments, garden-style apartments like what you have down here on South Hydraulic, or some quadplexes. And one of the things that we've also included in this design is some landscaping and berms along Broadway and along 69th Street North, so as to screen those visually from the street. So if you're familiar with like Fox Ridge over on 29th and Mays Road, we have the berms and the houses are screened behind it. So it's to create something that would be more aesthetic and again, get away from that barrack style housing look. Next slide. And then this is some typical residential homes. They would be targeted for entry-level, single-family. Just some examples of what those would look like. Next slide. Also some of duplex homes that are currently being built and actually are selling pretty well, both as rentals and as home occupied. And then those are examples of the quality of the construction. Next slide. So just to kind of sum up as an overview on the development agreement, what the deal structure would be is it's a pay-as-you-go, so the developer finances, bears the risk of the financing where the city doesn't have to, assumes the liability. One of the requests that Sean made, which I think is smart, is to let some of those increment that's being created flow through to the taxing bodies. So in some other TIFs around the county, usually 100% of that increment goes to pay off the TIF debt. Because of the structure of this, to reimburse the developer for special assessments, will allow some of that proceeds, that increment, to go to the taxing body, so everybody benefits from the get-go. The private investment is estimated to be between 59 and 79 million. The estimated TIF increment accordingly would be 18 million. One of the beauties about taking farmland is there's a lot of increment. So the existing tax base right now is about $2,000. So any kind of residential home would pay a significant increment on that. And then the TIF captured for budget sakes is about $4.25 million. So again, there's a lot of cushion from a financing standpoint to make sure that we take a conservative approach and that nobody's burdened by trying to leverage too much financing. Streets, water, and sewer are done just as any normal development would happen. So they would, as a developer, would still come in, petition for water, sewer, and streets. It's not to make the property more competitive, it's just to make the property competitive with others. So it's not to create, sometimes when we get in these discussions of incentives, some people say, well, we're picking winners and losers. And in this case, we're not really, we're just trying to level the playing field for some property, but for the TIF would not really be eligible or be developed. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
So what, in your opinion, I guess, why the TIF? And some of this question that I want to, we're in a public meeting and it's obviously being recorded for people at home.
Yep.
But why do you need a TIF?
Yeah, so the TIF is basically to level the playing field, as I mentioned earlier. If somebody were over developing in the city of Mays and they don't have to deal with floodplain, they don't have to do this extra dirt work and fill, which is pretty much equal to the cost of the land, so it would double the cost of the land. And in the investment marketplace, all things being equal, are they going to come here to this property or are they going to go to another property?
So TIFs are normally for blighted land. And
Correct.
This is an avenue which the blight in this area would be the floodplain. And
Correct.
This is a way to, what he's saying is, I guess for a floodplain level, the playing field, so we can bring it out. So this land would not be developed because it is in a floodplain. So the only thing this is doing is bringing it up. And then it's, the development is what he's saying is with the specials would be assessed just like they are with regular land. Question I have is what if, let's just say the housing market tanks, I wanna talk worst case scenario, the housing market tanks and now we're not selling houses. So
Yep.
what happens now?
So the way the structure is that we would post the letters of credit, drainage petition, just like any normal development. The developers pay for the specials, and that to the extent that they create value and investment, the TIF will reimburse them for those specials. But if they don't create that investment and that value, they're still obligated to pay the specials just like what they would on any other development.
Okay.
I'm not sure that answered your question,
I
but
think so. So the TIF money mostly being used for the bringing it up out of the floodplain.
correct.
So what pays that?
The,
If the houses aren't selling and
they're still paying they're still paying taxes, property taxes on those houses.
developer is,
The developer is,
unless he goes broke.
unless he goes broke, and then it'd go to sell, but any subsequent owners would still pay property taxes on
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Unless something happens wonky in Topeka, it'd be fair market value.
No, I got you, and
Yeah.
I want to protect the city, and that's
Yep.
what, I just want to make sure there's not additional exposure to the city, and if there is, we want to know about it tonight. That's why I asked.
Yep.
Council, any questions on that? Jim?
Yeah, we've all been driving by that parcel of land for decades, trying to figure out how to get it up out of the floodplain. So, Tim, I'm guessing you did the homework on it. How many inches or feet of dirt do you gotta bring in there to bring that whole, I'm trying to understand the magnitude of how to bring this out of that many acres out of a floodplain.
Yeah, about 3 feet of dirt.
3 feet
Yeah, so
over,
it's about 330,000 yards is kind of our estimate based on that layout that you saw there.
and obviously the land's just gonna sit there and continue to hold water until we figure out a way to do
Right.
it. So this is one viable way of trying to do something with it.
Yes.
Okay, I think I have my brain around the rest of what's going on there, so that's all I have.
How many front doors did you say would this development have?
Pardon me?
How many residential?
Units. So there's a couple different ways to look at it. I've been trying to look at it through the number of doors. So if it's a single family, it's 1 door. If it's a duplex, it's 2 door. We projectedly basing our financials on 330 doors, but that concept that I had tonight, which was refined after our initial request, it's based on 400 doors. So it's, again, it'll be constructed in phases as the market dictates.
Okay. Jim?
Thought of one more thing. Is this in line with our comprehensive development plan for that parcel? Has anybody looked at that yet?
No, sir, it's not, because right now it's floodplain. And that was not taken into consideration when the last comprehensive plan was completed in 2018.
Okay, thank you.
It was probably remained as undeveloped ag
Yes.
Okay.
in the floodplain or lake.
Like, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Does our bond council have any additional comments or anything else?
Yeah, thank you. So tonight's resolution would call for a public hearing on district creation. That public hearing would be held at the March 24th meeting. Following the public hearing, you would have an ordinance in order to decide whether to create the district. And then again, Tim did a great job of discussing the various business components we expect to be in the development agreement. That's not up for approval tonight. You're not approving that. You're not approving a number of doors. They're still working through their iterations. That's going to be in conjunction with the second step, which is the project plan approval. At that point, we'll call for another public hearing and hold a second public hearing on the project plan and all of the specifics. In association with that, there is a planning commission meeting that will give the planning commission an opportunity to weigh in to say whether this proposed development is in line with the comprehensive plan for the development of the city. And with district creation, because all taxing jurisdictions are affected, the county and the school district also have a veto opportunity for a TIF district creation. And so the development team has been in contact with those entities as well to make sure that they're up to speed and don't have any questions or concerns that would maybe potentially derail it at that level. So, yes, any other questions you have, I'd be happy to answer them.
Tim, I'm sorry, I know you walked away already, but I did have a question I thought of. I think I saw in the photos that you showed, are these slab homes or basements?
They'll be slab.
Okay.
They could want a basement there.
Thank you. All right, council, I'd entertain a motion. Jim?
I think you've answered my questions, and understand where we are in the process here, and there's several steps to go. So I will go ahead and move to approve Resolution 1275-2026, a resolution of the governing body of Park City, Kansas, determining that the city is considering establishing a redevelopment district within the city, establishing the date and time of a public hearing on such matter, and providing for the giving of notice of such public hearing.
John?
I second the motion.
Any further discussion? Okay, motion by Jim and seconded by John. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 6-0. Next to item 2 in new business, discuss and consider an ordinance authorizing the issuance of the, City of Park City, Kansas Sales Tax Special Obligation Revenue Bond Anticipation Bonds, Champtown Star Bond Project, Series 2026-1, for the purpose of providing funds to finance certain costs related to the City Star Bond Project plan, authorizing and approving the execution of certain documents in connection with the issuance of said bonds, and authorizing certain other actions in connection therewith. Garth. Sorry. Sorry.
We don't give you easy captions, do we? So for this and the next, what we would recommend is that these items be tabled. The development team and investment banking team at Jeffries continues to work through structure and kind of deal terms with potential investors. And so we don't have at this time set of terms to present for approval. And so we'd again recommend that this be tabled to the next meeting for the next 2 items.
Okay, thank you. All right. Either take no action or table. Try it again. Terry?
I move to table agenda item 2.
Agenda item 3. Oh, wait.
Is there a second?
Second.
Charlie? Second. Okay. Motion to table by Terry, seconded by Charlie. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 6-0 as tabled. Item 3, discuss and consider an ordinance authorizing the issuance of the City of Park City, Kansas Sales Tax Special Obligation Revenue Bond Anticipation Notes, Champtown CID Project, Series 2025, for the purpose of providing funds to finance certain costs relating to the city CID project, authorizing and improving the execution of certain documents in connection with the issuance of said notes, and authorizing certain other actions in connection with therewith. Dom? Want to do the same thing on this one?
Yes, same update here. Recommendation.
I'd entertain a motion to table. Jim?
I would move that we table this item.
And John Wells.
Second.
Motion by Jim Schroeder to table this action, take no action and table the item. Seconded by John Wells. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0. Next, item 4, discuss and consider resolution determining the advisability of the making of certain internal improvements in the City of Park City, Kansas, and making certain findings with respect thereto, and authorizing and providing for the making of improvements in accordance with such findings. sanitary sewer Phase 2, Briarbrook Second, and Briarbrook Fifth additions. Sean?
Yes, sir. The attached petition was filed with the city clerk proposing sanitary sewer improvements to Phase 2 of Briarbrook Second and Briarbrook Fifth additions. The petition was signed by the owners of record of more than one half of the area liable for the assessment for the proposed improvements, and therefore the petitioners request that such improvements be made without notice and hearing as required by KSA 12-6A01. The improvements include constructing a sanitary sewer collection system, including necessary manholes, cleanouts, and apurrences to serve the area described in the improvement district, all approved by the city engineer. The estimated or probable cost of the proposed improvements is $765,000 on a pro rata basis of 1% per month. The improvement district to be assessed for the cost is lots 18 through 27 Block A, lots 22 and 23, as well as 28 through 51 Block C, and lots 36 through 58 Block D, Briarbrook Second Edition, and lots 1 through 20 Block A, Briarbrook Fifth Edition to the city of Park City. The method of assessment is equally per lot. The apportionment of the cost of the improvements is between the improvement district and the city, with 100% going against the improvement district and 0% to the city. Staff recommends approval.
Thank you. Do I have a motion? Jim?
Just making sure I was on the right item here. I would move to approve Resolution 1276-2026, a resolution determining the advisability of the making of certain internal improvements in the city of Park City, Kansas, making certain findings with respect thereto, and authorizing and providing for the making of improvements in accordance with such findings, subject to a letter of credit.
Thank you. Charlie?
Second.
Any further discussion on this item? Seeing none, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 6-0. Next, item 5, discuss and consider resolution determining the advisability of the making of certain internal improvements in the city of Park City, Kansas, making certain findings with respect thereto, and authorizing and providing for the making of the improvements in accordance with such finding. This is paving improvements for Phase 2, Briarbrook Second, and Briarbrook Fifth additions.
Yes, sir. This petition again filed with the city clerk by more than one half of the area responsible for the assessment. The improvements include construction of pavement of Redbutt Court, Willow Court, Maplewood Court, and a portion of Hidden Lane, along with mass grading and storm sewer system and drainage to be installed where necessary to serve the improvement district, again, by city standards, plans, and specifications approved by the city engineer. The estimated or probable cost of the improvements is $2,485,000, again, increased at a pro rata rate of 1% per month from the date of the adoption of the resolution. The improvement district to be assessed for the cost of the improvements is lots 1 through 9 Block B, lots 15 through 55 Block C, lots 33 through 54 Block D, Briarbrook Second Edition, and lots 1 through 20 Block A, Briarbrook Fifth Edition. The method of assessment is on a fractional basis as described below. Lots 1 through 9 Block B, Briarbrook Second Edition, each shall pay 3/185 of the total cost of the assessments. Lots 15 through 51 Block C, lots 33 through 54 Block D, Briarbrook Second Edition, and lots 1 through 20 Block A, Briarbrook Fifth Edition shall pay 2/185 of the total cost of assessments. Again, the apportionment between the improvement district and the city is 100% against the district and 0% against the city. Staff recommends approval.
Thank you. Do I have a motion? Troy?
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 1277-2026.
Thank you. Jim?
I'll second that.
Any further discussion on this item? Seeing none, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 6-0. On to item 6. Discuss and consider resolution determining the advisability of the making of certain internal improvements in the city of Park City, Kansas, and making certain findings with respect thereto, and authorizing and providing for the making of the improvements in accordance with such findings. This is water distribution system improvement for Phase 2 Briarbrook Second and Briarbrook Fifth Edition.
Yes, sir. The improvements include the construction of the water distribution system, including necessary water mains, pipes, valves, hydrants, meters, and appurtenances to serve the area described as the improvement district. The estimated or probable cost of the proposed improvements is $780,000 at a 1% per month pro rata basis increase. The improvement district to be assessed is lots 1 through 9, Block B, lots 15 through 51, Block C, lots 33 through 54, Block D, Briarbrook Second Edition, and lots 1 through 20, Block A, Briarbrook Fifth Edition to the City of Park City. The method of assessment, again, on a fractional basis. Lots 1 through 9, Block B, Briarbrook Second Edition shall pay 3/185th of the total cost of assessments. Lots 15 through 51, Block C, lots 33 through 54, Block D, Briarbrook Second Edition, and lots 1 through 20, Block A, Briarbrook Fifth Edition shall each pay 2/185th of the total cost of assessment. The apportionment is 100% against the district and 0 for the city. Staff once again recommends approval.
Thank you, Troy.
I move to approve Resolution 1278-2026.
Charlie.
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion on that item? Seeing none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 6-0. Item 7, discuss and consider approval of design and construction engineering contracts for paving, sanitary sewer, and water for Bear Hill Addition Phase 3 and 4.
Bear Hill is located north of 85th Street and west of Hydraulic Avenue. Petitions for paving, sanitary sewer, and water improvements were approved back in December of 2022, subject to receiving the required letter of credit. Attached are the associated contracts from K.E. Miller Engineering for the design and construction engineering, and they're broken out. We have Bear Hill Phase 3 for both paving, sanitary sewer, and water. The amounts is $92,000, $30,000, and $28,000. And then for Phase 4, paving, sanitary, and water, we have $58,000, $16,000, and $18,000. It is authorized, funded via temporary financing, followed by long-term general obligation bonds, and staff recommends approval and authorizing the mayor to execute a contract with K.E. Miller in an amount not to exceed $242,000.
Charlie?
I move to approve and authorize the mayor to finalize and execute contract with K.E. Miller Engineering in the amount not to exceed $242,000 to be paid out of the capital projects fund.
Thank you. Jim?
Second it for discussion. Just, I've already had some questions, so maybe we could just be transparent, I guess, or talk back through, this is a development that started, stopped, we're into the next phase. There's streets, water, sewer that needs to go in, and the developer is now talking about proceeding, but the next step is to get this laid out, and which is what we need the engineering. So it's the next step in the process, correct?
Yes, sir. Over the last 3.5 years, this is actually our third set of petitions that have come before the council. At first, it was put out that they wanted to do it in 2 different phases, Phase 3 and Phase 4, which would be the remaining amounts for Bear Hill. Council approved those, and then about a year later, the developer came back and said, I'm thinking about doing it all again. And so he combined them all in together. Those petitions went before the council, and council approved them. And now we're here a year later, and he went back to Phase 3 and 4. But after talking with him, convincing him that lots around here are going rather quickly, he is still doing it in 2 separate phases, but they are doing it at the same time. So finally, the engineer is getting the plans and specifications ready to go so that they can go out to bid, so.
Excellent. Thank you.
Any further discussion on this? Okay. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Same sign. think this was 49 lots, is that what it is? Maybe 48 now?
Say again, sir?
The number of lots in there? Trying to remember how many it was. That's right.
I don't know off the top of my head, sir, sorry.
Okay. Disappointing.
You
Thank
don't know that? I thought you knew everything.
That'd have to be really close.
Quite disappointing from 4 years ago. Discuss and consider, next we'll move to item 8, discuss and consider rental rates for the new senior center. Good evening, Madison. Thank you for coming.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. With the new senior center opening on February 26th and having multi-purpose community spaces available to be rented by the public, attached are recommended rates for the various options ranging from small meeting space to a comprehensive package that includes both multi-purpose rooms, the 2 community rooms, and use of the kitchen in the senior center. The rate sheet proposes hours of 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Sunday through Thursday and 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. If an event is planning on serving alcohol, it requires security and a licensed caterer and bartender to serve. The proposed rates also includes a 15% discount for Park City residents and businesses. I would be happy to answer any questions.
Jim?
Guess I have a big question because my link is not working. I've not seen these rates. But I see you have them.
Yeah, it wasn't in the attached though.
Oh,
The link didn't work.
so if I could look at them real quick.
Troy?
How did we come up with these numbers?
So I did some quick research with different venues that are offered around the area and around the state actually as well. And getting a few heads together, we kind of compared different venues and what they were offering and what their rates were. And also realized that in Park City, the availability of venues to rent is very limited. So this is a very exciting new opportunity for Park City residents and around the area. We threw this together.
Perfect, thank you.
If I may, I'd like to commend Madison because it wasn't just a little bit of quick research. It was several months' worth of research, not only looking at the wedding venues and other type corporate meeting venues around the area, both public and private, but taking a comprehensive look at it to come up with what we felt was fair considering the condition of the new building.
I do like the extra 15% off, though.
Anybody have any feedback or? Brandy?
On your grand package, it has the kitchen included down here, so we're not gonna, that total includes that $50 total for the kitchen, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and then all the others, it's $50 additional for the kitchen rental.
Correct.
Okay, and then over on the side, you have your available hours, and this is just technical, but you have Saturday and Sunday, 7 to 11, and Sunday through Thursday, 7 to 10.
Should be
Which is
Friday.
Should be in
Saturday.
Friday and Saturday.
I just pointed out, so that way we get it updated before it goes public.
Thank you.
John Wells?
Do you think you would lose rentals if you didn't offer the ability to serve alcohol?
Frankly, yes.
Okay.
And we're, hoping with the required security and requiring that those serving alcohol be licensed bartenders, that would alleviate some of the worries.
Charlie?
As far as the security goes, Madison, is that gonna be like licensed private security, LEO? I mean, I just don't want them hiring like, their uncle to be the security.
Sure, and actually, I believe, Sean, Dana, we've been in talks with Chief about maybe putting together a preferred vendor list
Oh, okay.
for security options.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Everybody comfortable with the pricing and the different levels of offerings for the rentals?
I'm good. For when we were looking at facilities last summer, I'd say it's right in line with, or a little better than most of what we saw.
Troy?
If nobody's got anything further, I'd move to approve the proposed senior center rental rates.
Jim?
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? Yeah. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign? Motion passes 6-0. Thank you, Madison. Good job.
Thank you.
Next, we have governing body remarks. Charlie?
Nothing tonight, Mayor. Thank you.
John?
Just excited about the senior center about being ready to open.
Okay. Jim?
I have nothing to add tonight.
Randy?
I have nothing tonight.
Troy?
I don't have anything either.
Terry?
Just as well make it near unanimous, nothing for me.
We have 4 building permits in the month of January, or home permit, new home permits. There was 4 in the month of January, obviously a pretty fun, cold month. And then I wanted to say, remind council, I will not be at the next meeting. I have a work conflict, so I won't be here. So Terry will be running the meeting. And then just as a reminder, you'll have the CRB appointment that'll be on the agenda, so. Okay. With that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Troy?
So moved.
Terry?
Second.
Motion by Troy, seconded by Terry. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion passes 6-0. We're adjourned.